Hey guys. Oh my, what is actually, okay. We'll be putting a filter on there. Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Today's video, we are going to be making some soap. And you know the coolest part about soap making, in my opinion? I mean, besides you get to make stuff that makes you clean. But I do it for the outfit. Okay, man, I'm such a nerd. But I love it. I love my hair tied back, of course. We don't need anything getting in anywhere. We got our lab coat because I'm a pseudoscientist, maybe a mad scientist. I'm not real sure. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn you around and we're going to get to making our lye solution to start. Okay, guys, so today we're going to be making my standard cocoa butter recipe. And we're going to be doing my goddess scent because it seems to be like one of my best sellers, which is good because it's delightful. So I'm gonna tear out my scale here and we're gonna get our lye portioned out. So for this recipe, I need 8.8 ounces of sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide is the lye that we use for cold processed soap. Potassium hydroxide is the lye that's used for hot processed soap. Liquid hot processed soap. So we're gonna tear this out. Oops, it's in grams, that won't help. And we're in ounces. And I'm gonna fill this to 8. No. How do I want to do this? I'm going to mix everything in here. So I'm going to do my water first. And my water is 22.40 ounces. So hopefully, yeah. Oh, that's going to be pushing it. Let's see. Because this is only a 32 ounce pitcher. 22.4 plus 830. We should be good. We're going to find out. 22.4. Perfect. 22.4 ounces of distilled water. Beautiful. And then we are going to tear that out and you always add your lye to your water, never the other way around. And I'm actually gonna weigh it out in here because if I over add, then I'm in trouble. So I'm going to do 8.8 ounces of lye. And you don't want to breathe this in, so you want to stand back. You could wear a mask if you need to. The only thing I typically wear a mask for that I'm doing is working with epoxy. Wear the full mask because you want to. It's very toxic. And even then, you know, if I have my windows open and all that, I sometimes don't, which is very bad. So that is 8.8 ounces of lye. Perfect. So we don't need the scale anymore because we've measured everything out, and everything else that we do that I put in here is by teaspoon. So I'm going to put in, let me grab a teaspoon. That's helpful. Okay, so I'm going to put in cane sugar into the lye solution. And what I'm going to have that dissolve in the water first. And the cane sugar, what that does is it helps with the bubbles. So 4 teaspoons of cane sugar for a bubbly bar. And you can use any kind of sugar. You don't have to use cane. Just sugar in general helps with the lather. So for that, I'm going to mix that up and just get that nice and dissolved. And then 4 teaspoons of sodium lactate. And that helps harden the bar. It's a salt derivative that helps harden the bar. So make sure that's all dissolved. Get some paper. Perfect. Make sure we got it on there. So then 4 teaspoons of sodium lactate. Some soapers put this in with their oils. I always have just put it in with my lye solution. I don't think it really matters. I think you can do it either way. There's that. Let's give that a good zhuzh. And then once I add the lye solution, I'm gonna add a little bit of silk. So I'm using Tussa silk. I wanna get some mulberry silk, but it's pretty expensive. So, and for this, you can't really weigh, it doesn't really have a weight. You just peel some off. Or cut some off, depends on what kind of thing it is. It's like silk fibers. So there's this, if I put this on my scale right now, it would weigh 0. So we're not really gonna do it, but that just helps with the slip and the smoothness of your bar. It just adds a little bit of luxury to your bar. And I'm gonna put that in, I guess I'm gonna put it in now and then get it in there. And the lye solution will actually melt it down, the lye itself, because when I put the lye in the water, it's gonna heat up and it's actually gonna melt down the fibers. So let me get a different, and then we're gonna add our lye. And like I said, you wanna stand back, you don't wanna be right over it. It's definitely toxic and it's on fire right now. It's very hot. So that's gonna actually get in there and you're gonna wanna stir it until it's clear, until the lye is completely dissolved and your fibers from your silk are completely dissolved. So much fun. So I'm pretty sure all my fibers are dissolved. We're just gonna keep going until we make sure all the lye crystals have dissolved in there. Grittiness left, and everything seems to be all dissolved and happy. So we're gonna leave this to cool down because we can't, there is a thing called the heat transfer method where you could use this the heat from your lye to cool down all of your other oils and such and butters, but you want your butters and your oils to be about the same temperature. So I'm going to let this cool and then I'm going to come back. And then we're going to, when this is cooled down, we're going to heat up our oils and then we're going to make the actual soap batter. So I'm going to let this cool for a while. All right, I figured it out. I'm not sure what was going on there. The scissors didn't work, but somehow it just magically opened, so we're good there. All right. So 23.04 ounces of olive oil going in. So this batch that I'm making is going to make 4 pounds of soap, a 4-pound batter. So 23.04, beautiful. Love it when that works out. Perfect, put that over here. And next I'm going to need, tear my skin out, cocoa butter. So I get these cocoa butter wafers from Crafter's Choice at Wholesale Supplies Plus, and I need 23.68 ounces. What's nice is they're like half an ounce each, so they're really easy to measure out. .05. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. And then the last one, let's set this over here. The last oil that I need is my coconut oil. I thought I had one of these open. And we're trying to get into this one. Fresh. It's fresh, guys. There we go. So I get my coconut oil at Sam's Club. And I typically buy like 6 at a time. So I need 17.28. So good. Just so rich in all the good for you fats. I love it. $17.2. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to get my oils going. I'm going to give it a little zhuzh. It does, I mean, it's not really cohesive at all now, is it? Okay, and I'm going to stick it in my crock pot heater in the base, and I'm going to get these warmed up. And they'll get warmed up, and then once they're all melted, I'll take it off the heat and make sure that the temperatures are similar to that of the lye, and we'll be ready to start making the soap. Okay guys, so our lye solution and our oils have all cooled down. They're about the same temperature. They should be about room temperature. So 78 and 77, so that's perfect. And we're gonna soap cold, which is what you wanna do. So I'm gonna add everything. I'm gonna add my oils into my bigger pouring pitcher right now so we can mix it up. Let's give it a little scrapey. Get all that goodness out of there. Make sure we get everything. So good. Okay, perfect. Put that on my buggy to go to the wash. Okay, so remember that's our cocoa butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. And then to the oils, I'm gonna add my additives before I add my lye solution and my fragrance. So here's my oils, I'm gonna set that aside. Today I was gonna do my goddess scent, but then I looked at the usage rates for soaping, and they just weren't high enough to make the blend because one of the fragrances that I use in that is 70% of that one, and that's a really low usage rate, and I just want you to be able to smell the scent in the soap. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna do a peach scent that I'm blending, and I'm doing a peach nectar and a Georgia peach. And I am a Midwest Fragrance Company girly. So most of my scents come from Midwest Fragrance Company. They are my favorite. They're absolutely the best. They are the fast service. I also use Candle Science. Amazing shipping for Candle Science. It's pretty hefty price, but I literally order and I get everything the next day, which is crazy. So, you know, depends on what you're looking for. If you don't want to pay for shipping and you have time, you know, Midwest Fragrance Company is great. If you need it in a pinch or, you know, whatever, Candle Science, amazing. I mean, their customer service is great. So we're going to measure out my fragrance. So for my batch, I need 4 ounces of fragrance, and I'm going to do a blend. So I'm going to do 70%, no, did I decide? I'm going to do 3 ounces of the Georgia peach and 1 ounce of the peach nectar. I just want it to be really potent peach. The Georgia peach is a little subtle, and the nectar just gives it a little, you know, pop of deliciousness. So we're going to do 3 ounces of this one. And I don't know about you guys, but I think peach is all year round, a scent for all year round. I don't think it's just like a summer scent. And our daughter absolutely loves peach at this moment, so I'm sure she won't mind if I make her peach soap. And then an ounce of this, beautiful. So there's that. We got our fragrance, and into our fragrance, I'm gonna add my kaolin clay and my carrot powder. So the kaolin clay, I add my clay to this so that it binds well, and then it distributes through the oils in the batch better. So the kaolin clay is just really good for your skin. A lot of skin properties, good skin properties. And the carrot powder is the same. So I add both. The carrot obviously is orange, so it will make your batch orange. But since I'm going to be tinting this peachy colors, I thought it would go well. I have used the carrot powder in a couple of my lotions, and a couple of my friends have said that it helps with their eczema and just dry and allergy-esque skin, so I think it's never a bad thing to add. I also make my lotions with calamine powder too, so that helps with the skin and the dryness and, you know, inflammation, and if something flares up. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of white kaolin clay, and then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of organic carrot powder. And it's a super light, it's not like real orangey, you know what I mean? 1 and 2. Perfect. Love that. And then oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, perfect. So that's that, and that'll go in just a minute. And then to my batch, my oil batch, I'm gonna add my milk powder. So in my soaps, I don't use any shea because my daughter has a latex allergy. And for some folks, well, shea is a similar component breakdown to latex. So it like mirrors it. So I don't use any shea butter, which is very sad because, you know, it's very good for your skin, but I also don't want to run the risk of, you know, obviously buyer beware, right? So if the label says shea and you know you have a latex allergy, you might need to know that. But some people don't know that shea mimics latex. So I just stay away from shea. Stay away from shea is what I say. Also, my daughter is allergic to all dairy, not just dairy, but all cow, right? So she can't even have beef. She can't have whey protein. She can't have anything. She's allergic to actually the cow. So I'm putting in 4 tablespoons of, I love using buttermilk powder in my soaps, but this is coconut milk. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So coconut milk powder. This makes the bubbles better. This is just really nourishing, you know, like milky, smooth, delicious for the skin. Love that. So there's that. So I'm going to give this a little mixy mix with this to get it started. I'm going to get my stick blender in there. Perfect. Now I forgot to read if my fragrance oils accelerate or anything like that, so this is going to be an interesting thing. I'm just getting all of the milk powders incorporated. Just that smells so good. You got the coconut milk and the cocoa butter and the coconut oil. The olive oil is pretty neutral, so it doesn't really have a scent in there, but it just smells really tasty. I wouldn't eat it, but it smells tasty. Okay, so there's that. So we've got that going on. We'll get rid of this. And we're gonna keep that. We're gonna get rid of this. Okay, so now, just tidy up my clay here. So now we're going to add the lye solution and see how she goes. I'm almost tempted to split. Yeah, I'm gonna add the lye solution. I might split off. So typically what makes things accelerate and go crazy is the scent, right? That's just how it is. So I'm gonna add my lye solution and we're gonna get this to like a mild trace. The fact that the oils and the lye are so cold might lean to it being thinner for a while. It might take a while to get to trace, but I'm okay with that. So let us get this started. I'm actually gonna take my blender and I'm gonna pour on the blender so it just goes in smooth. It's very satisfying. And again, lye is caustic, so if you get it on your skin, it will burn you. Make sure that's all out of there. Perfect. Give this a little zhuzh. Not anywhere. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good emulsification. Okay, so we're gonna take that, scrapey, scrapey, and set this down. And I think I'm gonna split. So what I wanna do is I wanna do an angle for I wanna do like a triangle at the bottom of my soap for this one. So I'm gonna pour and then I'm gonna split off colors. So let me split off my colors first. So I'm gonna take two, we're in the shot there. I'm gonna do a gold. I love the golds and I just love them. All year round. It doesn't have to be for the season, right? So this is gold mica powder. It's super pretty. It's called Maya Gold and it's from Nurture Soap. So I'm gonna do that one. And then I'm gonna do Cantaloupe. And I think this lends also, look how beautiful that is, to the peach situation. Put one in there. And then I'm gonna leave the base. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna pour off, done with that so I can move the scale. I'm gonna pour off some of this, just the base for our base layer. And then I'm gonna pour in and I'm gonna save this little bit for the top. Okay. So we get a little mixy mix with our scent and our clays and our carrot powder. I'm just gonna put a little bit in here because this is what I'm gonna pour first. It's getting in there. I'm gonna stick my stick blender in it just ever so carefully. I did not fill it up to the top, friends. Just want to make sure everything's incorporated. And it's okay if this one gets a little thicker. I would like it to be a little thicker for the pour, because I'm gonna have to wait for it to kind of solidify before I can put the other. Oh, yes. That's how I roll. Making a mess. Typical. Y'all, I was doing pretty good for a while there. This is clean for me. Clean, soapy fun, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's just go. I'm gonna bring it up to like a medium trace. It doesn't look like my fragrance oil is accelerating this batch, which is nice. We're still at a light trace. And because we're soaping so cold, that might have something to do with it as well. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. I'm just gonna start from this corner. And I think that's good. And I'm gonna leave this again for the top so we can do some decorations. I'm gonna clean up my mess, because you know, wouldn't be me soaping without a mess. Just clean this off, and then we have to wait for this to harden up a little bit because I want to add layers. So I don't want to actually have it blend. I'm not doing like a drop swirl into this bit. I want this bit to remain that solid color. So while that is setting up, we're going to work on our colors. I'm just gonna first zhuzh this up a little bit. See, this is getting nice and thick. And then we're gonna get this. And we may have to add more, depends. We'll just check it out when we get it mixed up. We haven't added our fragrance yet, so I'm gonna add the fragrance at the very end because I don't want it to accelerate and this be hard while we're still waiting for that to set up a little bit. So one of my friends reached out and she was like sending me some soap videos and telling me how much she loved watching the pours and everything. And I said, of course you do, because you're a baker. That's how I got started on this journey, is I was watching baking videos on YouTube, and then YouTube recommended soap, and here we are. So crazy. Why, Cord? Why must you be like this? Why are you like this? Why are you the way that you are? Oh, come on, Cord. Come on. I'm gonna just scrape down all the sides because we did dump all that mica powder at the bottom. I want to make sure we get it all up into our actual color. I really am enjoying that color. I'm gonna leave this for now, and then when I add the fragrance, I'll zhuzh it again. So let's go over here, and this is our cantaloupe color. So this is more like a pink, peachy. I just really think these colors are gonna look amazing. Oh yeah. So what my hope is that this will set up for a little bit, and then I will be able to either, I don't know, do I wanna make lines and layers? I might just layer over top each other and not do a drop swirl, just pour alternating, because that might look really pretty. You get to be so creative when you're a soap maker or any of the crafting things. It's quite nice. This is a beautiful, this is probably my favorite mica. I have used it in so many things, bubble bath, lotions. I just think it's the perfect blush color, the perfect peachy blush. Okay, so I'm gonna give that a little zhuzh. Give it a spin. Yeah, and you can see the trace lines there for sure. But it's not a heavy trace, so that's good. It's not super thick. Awesome. Perfect. So we're gonna give the mold, the soap in the mold, a few minutes. Excuse me. Stop it. I'm so annoyed with this thing. We're gonna give this a few minutes and then we will do the top. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. I feel like that might be ready. These are thickening up nice and well. I'll give this a little stir. And then split this between the two. Get all that goodness in there. Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna get this started. There's that one. And then I'm probably gonna have to move a little bit quickly just so that we don't get it like really hard and setting up. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. Okay, let's see. I think that's my carrot powder swimming around, which is interesting. And then this one. Okay. Scribby, scribby, scribby. Love it. Perfect. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. This Maya Gold has some sparkle and some shimmer and some shift into it, which I love. Super pretty. Okay, so I have more of this. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to pour gently. I love how it's pushing across the top. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. I want it to be a whole layer. Okay, that's clean that up because messy. Okay, then we're gonna come in with this pink color. Do the same thing.